Oh no. I'm gonna have to redo the sensitivity on this. Oh god. I'm jumping like I'm on the fucking moon. What happened to these settings?
I mean, that's
Oh,
what X is supposed to do.
look at how slow I'm jumping.
Yeah, that's how the jumping works in this game. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, no, something's wrong here. I'm turning at a snail's rate. Anyway, what's
Well,
good, internet?
the turning is a sensitive. Oh, I didn't realize we were starting.
Oh yeah, we've been live. I've been waiting for a time to do the intro here. Actually, I should probably check to make sure that audio and everything is good too. So we're all good. We're all Gucci. All right, I think we're coming through okay. Maybe.
Crosshair dirt details.
Okay, yeah, there it is. There it is. What's good, internet? I'm Eric, and this is Kevin, and we are here in the Powerwash Simulator Tomb Raider DLC. This is Croft Manor. This is going to be our day today. We are playing on Kevin's profile because he has yet to do these ones. So we're going to just focus on one of these today because this is going to be pretty massive. And next time we get into this, we're going to do two because it should be a level and a vehicle. So real quick before I get started, Kev, you feel free do whatever you'd like. I've got to change my settings.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
kind of in, and I'm like messing with my settings because it says that there's a way to toggle on and off, like
Controller
the
sensitivity.
six-axis like motion control, and like I kind of want that for this. That
Okay,
might be
yeah,
fun.
that's better. Yeah, so I found out that we can change the colors of things. So look at that. Instead of orange, all of my dirt now shows up red. That's freaking blinding. Oh,
Mine
actually,
still shows up orange.
I am going to go with that. Oh, it's already got an extension on. That's probably for the best, though. All right. Now let's see. How do I. There it is. Clothing, clothing, clothing. We're not in the winter pack anymore. So I think I'm just going to go purple. Purple's a great color. There we go. Well, Kevin, are you ready for this?
I don't know if I've been ready for anything, Eric.
Why not?
I don't know.
So how has your week been, Kev? It's been a full one since we've talked.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Um, I mean, I'm still just kind of looking for another job at this point.
Hmm.
Not too exciting. I think I'm getting sick again, so that's fun.
Oh, awesome! I got sick yesterday. I made the poor mistake to eat the like. I got Little Caesars, right? So I got Little Caesars. It's cheap. It's fine enough usually. This Little
Depending on the
Caesars,
location.
yeah. Well, this Little Caesars that I picked up was like extra greasy. Like pick up pizza, you can feel it soaking through the box on the bottom. Cheese slides right off. It's so greasy that the cheese actually curdled a little bit. And I ate it, and it was the biggest mistake of
Yeah,
my
if the cheese
life.
had curdled, that should have told you to not eat it.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like curdled. It was kind of like string cheese consistency, where it was kind of like I don't know the best way to describe it. It wasn't like solid, but it was like I don't know. It had like a texture to it, the texture that you would get when you're like ripping through string cheese.
Oh, like it wasn't cooked all the way.
Maybe. Um,
Well, that's the only reason why it would have that texture of string cheese is because it wasn't baked or had been sitting for a minute.
well, let me tell you, I was heading over to Ed's house to hang out and play some cards and stuff. And we played Disney's Villainous, which was really cool. I'd never played that before.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
good game.
and I absolutely just destroyed his bathroom. I'm like, listen, man, I'm not feeling good. I took a chance on Little Caesars. I gotta go. Man, that was the longest ride home I had ever experienced. I kicked in the door, threw everything off, and it was a photo finish. Let me tell you.
Huh.
Yeah, I know.
I honestly I'm looking around the courtyard here and I'm trying to see we're not pulling another 40K thing, but like I do not see a ladder. I just see the what do you call them?
S-
Scaffolding.
Scaffold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, I've been waking up the last couple mornings. My throat's been sore. I got the sniffles again.
It's that weather, man. It keeps changing from like I'm really happy
Well,
with this
usually it
being
would
double
just be like my
digits.
sinuses, but like I can like this is different, and like I can tell immediately that it's different,
Mm. Yeah, that's no
especially the
bueno.
way I was feeling today. And I'm like, cool. So we're going 3 illnesses for the last 3 months.
Oh, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, it is what it is.
It's certainly the weather because this weather has been unrelenting. I can't tell you how happy I was to experience a 17-degree day. Oh, it was the nicest thing. It felt like summer.
Oh, I know.
It felt like summer
It
because
was
with my job I
30.
have to be
It was
outside.
30 degrees yesterday, and everyone's just like, "Ooh, it's a scorcher out." Like it was
Exactly.
so warm. Like I left my house with a jacket on. I'm like, I feel like I'm overdressed.
It happens too when you reach into the negatives like a couple days in a row. Like anything
Yeah, spending
in
a
like
lot
the
of
double
time at
digits.
negative -8
Yeah,
Fahrenheit.
-7, -8, and I'm like, ooh, 17 degrees. It's hot. And what's worse was those were the days that our trucks were coming in, so I got to spend 4 hours outside for that day. So that was great.
And anybody who might be watching or listening, because I know you have a couple of viewers who are not based in the United States.
Hmm.
Um, so to give everyone not not American an idea of how cold that is
Oh, that's right. We're
in
not in
Celsius,
Celsius.
-22 in Celsius.
Yeah, it was -22 Celsius here, which I know for some places in the world is like also their summer, but for us, not so much.
Yeah, I got a buddy in Canada. He's like, yeah, that's pretty average here. I'm like, okay, but you live like you live in a town in Canada that like 1,600 people live in. Like, I don't understand how you have internet where
Oof.
you live. I'll let him know he's my boy.
Oh, I finally got a ding. It's a beautiful thing.
Working on these planters.
I'm kind of doing the molding around the outside of the house. I did the door, I got part of the archway, but to finish that archway, I'm going to need to get up top, and I don't feel like using a scaffold right now. I'm actually wondering if we're going to get this level done in one episode.
I
I
know.
remember this one being pretty intensive.
This also came out pretty early in like the game's release, so it might not actually be that bad. Now that we kind of know a little bit more what we're doing and like how to optimize the
Oh,
cleaning
yeah.
process.
And I mean, when I did do this, I did this solo, so it definitely took a lot longer. So your help is definitely appreciated here. Or should I say, my help is definitely
Yeah.
appreciated here because this one's your profile.
This is my profile, and I appreciate you agreeing to do it on my profile so I can get the completion
Oh, yeah.
for it.
Also, I don't think there were any achievements for this one, correct?
There were not.
Okay,
Yeah, there
I
are no
didn't remember.
achievements. Yeah, there are no achievements listed for any of
Tomb
the
Raider,
free
Midgar.
DLC. Yeah. The paid DLCs all have their own achievements, but yeah, no achievements
Yes,
for the free
I'm
packs, which I'm okay with.
dreading the day that you get the Shrek DLC because I don't want to do that one again.
Well, you did that on stream, right? Or no?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Got it.
No,
Buy
I
the
did
Shrek
that.
DLC as soon as possible. Understood.
No.
Instructions 100% clear. No way I could mistake that.
All I gotta say is, I think that was the first DLC where I'm like, this isn't fun. This is a chore.
I also think that was the first DLC where they realized that like a lot of people were using this game just to like talk to their friends on stream. Because
Fair enough.
there was a lot of that. Like I watched probably like a 3 or 4 hour long stream of I think it was Matara and Melody just like shooting the shit while cleaning Duloc.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Like a lot of times, these video game streams that I do watch, I just throw on in the background while I'm playing something or doing puzzles. So I can understand the podcast and like just talking aspect of it. Because really,
Well, and
what
then
are you doing? You're just watching someone
right.
spray some shit.
Well, and then Markiplier actually has, and it has been officially launched, his Powerwash Pals podcast.
It's great. It's perfect. I haven't caught an episode yet. How many have they done?
I don't know because I know maybe 6 because
Dang, I might have to check that out.
he did because before it was like officially a podcast, he was like, "Oh, just do this on YouTube," and then like it eventually actually became like a podcast thing. So I know he did he did an episode that was just him and Wade and him and Bob to like start, but those were technically like distractible bonuses.
Fun,
Um,
fun.
and then he did an
Yeah, he already
episode
has a
with
podcast.
he's got 3.
They had like a drunk Minecraft too, didn't they?
You understand he hasn't done drunk Minecraft in like over a decade.
So I might be a little behind the time.
Yeah, Mark can't drink anymore.
Oh, good for him. Unless it's for a medical reason, then
Yeah,
I'm
it's a medical
iffy. But
reason. His body like can't process alcohol properly.
so it's
And the
something to do
last
with his
time
liver, probably.
his heart, like
Oh,
the last time he got drunk at like a YouTuber party or just like at a party with friends, he had 2 heart attacks and needed to be rushed to the hospital.
two?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's your
In
body just
in
tapping
one
out.
two yeah, 2 heart attacks in one night. He's been very public about this, but I understand I'm much more of a Markiplier fan than you are, despite the fact that you steal his outro.
Hi, hi. All right, listen, I'm an old school Markiplier fan, okay? I only adopted it when he stopped using it.
He stopped using you're like, cool, it's free real estate, and then never watched
pretty,
Markiplier again.
pretty much.
You were just waiting for it to go
It's not that
common
shallow.
license.
Not that
Finally,
shallow.
it's free.
Oh, God, I can't wait till I can start
No,
referencing
there's
Tiny Box
so
Tim.
there's there's so no, it's there's so much going on, and like we all have to prioritize like our different interests, and like I get it. I like to listen to podcasts while I'm driving, so I just have like a small handful that I have like queued up that I listen to. You know, there are some that I listen to every episode, and then some are like interview podcasts, and I'll only like listen to episodes if I find the guest that they have on interesting.
Fair enough. We got to get ours going again. I think our next episode was supposed to be video game music themed. Like I had a whole thumbnail and everything made up for that, and we just
I mean, we
never
can we
found the
can do
time.
that, but I feel like if we're gonna really like get into the podcast, because that's the thing. Like I've always wanted to do, well, not always. I wanted to do podcasting for a long time now, though, because originally my plan and what I wanted to do was radio. Like I wanted to be like a morning show DJ
That's a lot of work.
guy.
You gotta like always be talking, always have something on the mind. It's very, I mean, as professional as it is improv-y a bit.
Yeah, and there are some things that there. I don't know why. There's some instances in improv that like I do pretty well at, and then there's others where I'm just like, I don't know, and then nothing happens.
Well, I think doing these and like just having us talk and stuff will also help a lot with that.
Mhm.
I've definitely come a significant way from when I first started streaming. The only thing that I'm still upset about is I do still add additional words that are unneeded, like and sometimes the pauses can be a little bit long while I'm buffering in my mind on what I want to say. But
It's
you get that everywhere.
here's there are so many people who are just like there can't be any dead air. You know what I mean? It's like no, it's fine for there to be dead air. It's fine to let the audience sit for a moment, depending on like what the subject matter of the discussion is. Like,
I
not everything
used to
needs to be
agree.
lightning fast.
I used to agree, but a lot of like the editing that I see done nowadays don't give you a lot of time to sit. They just go bang, 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 joke,
Well,
joke, joke,
but that you're seeing that because, and I want to emphasize the one word you said there,
edit.
editing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're taking all of the highlights and then mashing them together, so it's just bam, 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 bam. But that's not how it happened 99% of the time.
Man, show up to one of my streams. I do the extra work then to make it happen. I'm going to be honest, I'm not funny 100% of the time. And
Nobody
definitely,
is.
definitely we've had a lot of dead air in some of these episodes.
We had an entire guest not have their mic enabled for streaming.
That was a nightmare. I remember that.
That
The legendary
that was one of my
squonk.
favorite fucking moments. Like everyone saw the third person, but
No one said a damn thing.
not
Telling
till
a
like two
fucking
hours in,
crazy.
they thought it was a fucking bit.
The bit is I'm an idiot. It's always the one time I don't check my audio too. It's
Well, like I
always
don't, and I'm going to refer to him in this instance as Squonk because I don't know if he wants his actual name out there because
yeah,
like he was just
squonk.
calling himself Squonk. Um, Like we were just like, is your mic? And we were before. Is like your mic good for streaming? He's like, yeah, I have it enabled. I'm like, we're like, okay, cool. And then we get 2 hours into what, a 3 hour stream or something like
It
that.
was a
And
long
so
one,
it's
yeah.
just like, finally someone asks, wait a minute, is there supposed to be a third voice here? Only to find out that he did not have it enabled.
Oh boy, it's still a nightmare to me. Like I still wake up
There's
sometimes.
nothing you could have done for that, and it's not a nightmare. That was
No,
premium content.
it was hilarious, and I man, I'll never forget just listening back to that audio, and we're both like out of nowhere, street sharks, just for no reason. And it's even funnier because Squonk is a cryptid, so it's like, is he actually there? It was funny, but man, I still have nightmares about like doing entire streams with my mic muted. Ah,
Well, you have a way to control that. You don't have a way to control squonk system, especially when he's, remote.
Yeah, can I say though, this is 100% still my fault because before we started, he did ask if there was anything he needed to do to set up his mic for the stream. I didn't realize it was his first time on the new system, so I just assumed he had the option toggled. He did ask me if there was anything he needed. I'm like, no, man, you're good. So it's still
It's
100% my fault.
okay, and it's funny. It's
It was
fine.
hilarious.
Just because it wasn't like a setup bit that you wrote doesn't mean it's not funny and that it's not good content.
I just feel so
Penicillin
bad
was a
because
mistake.
it was his first time on the stream. He just wasn't.
You're being way too hard on yourself about
Oh,
this.
I know. I have to be though.
No,
It's
you
so I
don't.
don't make the mistake again. I need to make
Oh,
sure I'm aware.
you don't need to give yourself fucking nightmares and panic attacks about it. It's
Well,
fine.
that's not even just because of that stream. That's just in general. There's a reason I had to do the Spider-Man uh, game twice on the channel. It is because I did 2 episodes completely muted. And people don't join in at the very beginning of those. So I'll reach 30-minute mark, and then someone will be like, hey, your audio's not on. I'm like, fuck. And there are always episodes where I feel like they were really good delivery wise, and I had very thought provoking things to say, and it's always those ones that are always fucked up, you know?
Once again, you're being too hard on yourself. It's fine. And you're also not. Yeah, and
I'm
you've been very open about this, so I don't want this to come off as like an insult because I don't mean it
I'm
as
not
one. But you're
popular
not
enough.
no, you're not. Well, that's not what I was going to say. Well,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
technically not in that many, not in that phrasing, but like you're not a professional streamer. It's fine. Like this is just a fun hobby,
Yeah, I don't do it
and
for the
that's
money.
what money
Exactly.
exactly.
I'm spraying a wall.
And if
Yeah,
somebody
you're
watches,
right.
great, and if not, it's fine. So like, there's really no reason to stress about it. It's not like you're banking on this to make rent.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'll never see a sponsorship on this platform. Speaking of which,
And you don't
Manscaped
follow through.
5.0,
You don't follow through with your sponsorships on the other platform.
actually, I do. That
What
was a
about that
giveaway.
box of
That was
stuff?
oh well, who am I going to give that to? I can't give that away. All
I
right,
took
listen, we're
one
not going to
thing.
talk. We're not going to. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I'm glad you got something. Uh, it's still all there too. I still have that box of stuff. One day, collector's items.
Sure, why
One
not?
day. Oh man. So we've been every once in a while we'll go out to see UFC at Buffalo Wild Wings, right?
Yeah.
Uh, haven't done it in a little bit, but I got a pretty funny story slash sad story related to being done with a UFC event. So I don't know if you've ever decided to pamper yourself, right, and set up a spa day or a massage or something like that. I was having a really rough week, and we had just come off of a UFC weekend, and that Monday just fucking killed me at work. So I set up a massage at this place. I'm not going to say the name of it because it kind of tells the area that I'm in, but it's like about a mile and a half away from where I live.
Okay.
And I fell asleep during the middle of this massage, and something I didn't realize is they just keep rubbing you for the whole time that you paid for.
Yes.
Uh, I was having a dream that I was in a UFC fight, right?
Oh
And
no, Eric!
I fell
Eric,
asleep.
no!
I fell asleep, and apparently she started to work on my calves. I'm like, in my dream, I'm getting calf kicked, so I kicked back and I kicked her right in the chin. I woke
Oh no! That's the second you were just like, I was dreaming I was in a UFC fight. I'm like, I know exactly where this is going.
Well, I had to set up the bit there for you with the context. You need a little bit of exposition to get to the whole
You see, and I thought you were
understanding.
just gonna be like sad that you slept through the whole massage,
No, I'm
and I'm like,
happy about it. No, I got it.
I was,
I It was like towards the tail end, but
yeah.
I woke up the rest of it after that. After my foot connected with her chin, I was awake, and she was way nicer than she needed to be.
Well,
I have
at
not
least she was cool about it.
I have not gone for another massage since. I don't think I can. I will say it was nice
I
enough that I fell asleep, so
I hope you at least tipped this lady decently.
of course.
Eric.
Of course.
Okay. I'm like, you're so quiet. I'm like, Eric knows he's supposed to tip the masseuse, right? Especially if you kick them in the fucking jaw.
Listen, fucking dodge.
Why is dodging a subroutine? Anyway, I'm sorry. I can't turn this thing will very slowly devolve into just quoting internet videos.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Have you been I know you don't really keep up with wrestling a whole lot anymore, but did you see that Penta debuted on WWE Raw 2 weeks ago?
I have been getting a lot in my feed about it, but he's never been anyone I've cared about, so I just never watched it.
Really? I love Penta.
Yeah, I mean, he was in, was it TNA, AEW? Where was he?
Yes.
Okay,
Where wasn't he?
all right.
Because he was a massive fucking talent and a pretty decent draw. He's like Undertaker meets Rey Mysterio.
Oh, so he's a bigger luchador. He's like Psychosis.
Yeah.
Dude, what a fucking devolve Psychosis had. I gotta say, once he got in WWE, it
Yeah,
was
he's a
pretty
bigger
rough
guy,
for
but
him.
he can still move like the smaller guys, but he's
They
also
had
big
him.
enough that he can pick up and throw other dudes around.
They had him coming out on a tractor, man. Him and Super Crazy got shafted in WWE.
Yeah. Well, they were originally WCW guys, weren't they?
Yeah, and
A lot of
ECW.
well, not so much ECW. Well,
Oh, that's
quite a
where
few of
I
them
know
too.
them from. I'm sure they had other history before that, like in
Yeah. Yeah, of course, but like
AWA or something.
a lot of like those guys who came from other, especially in the that era, like the ruthless aggression, like like just outside of the attitude era, right? Who came from those other promotions that were dead, like, and I mean even going in through the reality era towards the end of his stint as the owner of WWE, a lot of Vince McMahon's like idea was like, well, it didn't happen here, so it didn't happen. So like it didn't, whatever you did outside of his company didn't fucking matter. And if like he had a thought about you, it is what it was. And there were a lot of times that he like these guys would show up to work for him and is like, oh, you used to work for the competition, right? Oh, okay. Here's here's what we're gonna do. I want to make you look like a fucking idiot.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And by the way,
Let's
hi,
not forget
Vera.
about the time that Vince McMahon, I mean, it's a rough story to kind of tiptoe around. Vince McMahon booked a segment where he himself dropped a racial slur
Oh
in
yeah.
front of Booker T.
Tell me I did not just hear that.
And it's
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm sure Booker T was not comfortable with that, but was also in a position of like, well, I need my job and I can't tell him no.
Pretty much. Yeah. Also, Vera, wild story. I'm not going to talk about it because that's stuff that isn't safe for YouTube. But congrats to your Uncle Jerry and the kangaroo. And Kev, that is left out of context for a reason. You'll just have to trust me on that.
Okay. The fact that the only context you gave me was it's not safe to talk about on YouTube makes me think his uncle had relations with a kangaroo.
No, it was the substances they were using. I can't talk about.
Okay.
But congrats on the wedding.
Fertility medication? I'm sorry, Vera.
Oh man. When is the Royal Rumble? Has that happened yet?
Next weekend.
Next weekend.
Yep. Right?
Who's the favored to win this year? You think? Is it going to be John
Honestly,
Cena?
it a lot of people are calling for John Cena to win
His last
this
year?
year
Hmm.
because he's. Here's the thing. I don't care about John Cena winning the Royal Rumble. A
Hmm.
lot of people want him because he's tied for Ric Flair at 16 right now, if I remember correctly.
Ah, they want him to go down as the greatest.
A lot of people want him want to see him become the 17-time champion and break the record. And like realistically, does he deserve it with the career that he's had? I would say
Hmm.
absolutely. I think, and it's just my opinion. I think that it's a bigger deal, and I could be wrong, and my opinion is my opinion alone, and I do not treat it as fact. I think it's a bigger deal for him to win the Intercontinental Championship and retire as a Grand Slam champion.
That would be fantastic. And now that Vince
Because
McMahon
it's the one
isn't,
championship he's never won, but at this point there's two competing stories here for that. And I think it's more likely that they'll give him the 17-time champion. And I think
hi Tune. Yes, we are talking wrestling. You missed Penta
I
already, but that's fine.
I under I think it does a disservice to Cody Rhodes' story for him to lose to John Cena at the end of his career.
Yeah, this is John Cena's last year, Vera. But you also have to think the Intercontinental title was known as the workhorse title for a long time. And if John's
Hmm.
going to be on his way out, it doesn't make sense for him to hold it. But that was also
Well,
Vince McMahon's viewing of that title. And he's not in the picture anymore. So,
well, because they're also right now, I believe, working towards getting Sheamus the Intercontinental title, which would make Sheamus not just a Grand Slam champion, but an Ultimate Grand Slam champion.
Sheamus had
Sheamus
a
has
raw deal when they were giving him that championship run. I,
is a
man,
multi-time U.S. champion, a multi-time WWE champion, a multi-time tag team champion. He is a Royal Rumble winner. He has been Mr. Money in the Bank. He has been a King of the Ring winner.
yeah, he's got a lot of accolades.
He's done everything except win the Intercontinental title.
Oh man.
And
Plus,
right
when
now,
they
he's feuding with Braun Breaker, the current Intercontinental Champion. So I think that's what they're building towards.
that could be entertaining actually. Braun's been like on a streak lately, hasn't he? Like they've been strapping the rocket to
His
him.
it's Braun Breaker's been weird because like there's some times where he's just like white fucking hot, and then there's times he's just
Fuck.
gone. And like I don't know if WWE knows what to do with this guy. And
Mm.
like he's incredibly talented. I'm sure you've seen the video of him running the ropes and physically moving the ring.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. That's impressive.
And his matches are good too. He's not just highly athletic. And I think they just don't know what to do with him as far as a persona. Because like he was white hot around SummerSlam, and then he won the Intercontinental title. I was there for it. I have pictures. He was right next to me with the belt
Yeah,
after he
there are some
won.
amazing pictures that you have from wrestling events. Actually,
um, yeah, I was very lucky to go. Shout out to my buddy John. I know he's not watching, but
who is? We've got Tuna and we've got Vera, and we are here in person, and we appreciate both of you. By the way, a question that has come from chat here. Toon asks, what belts does Mysterio still have to win?
that's a good question. He might be a Grand Slam champion already.
I'm wondering because did he ever get another WWE reign, or was it just the one in place of, like, in honor of Eddie? I don't know if he actually legitimately got a fair shot with the WWE title. Hmm. I have that Royal Rumble on DVD, by the way. I've been thinking about selling all my wrestling
Yeah,
DVDs.
he is a Grand Slam champion. He's a one-time WWE champion, two-time World Heavyweight champion, one, two, three, four, five-time Tag Team champion, two-time U.S. champion, and two-time Intercontinental champion.
I
He's
think he
also
was.
won the Royal Rumble back in 2006.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was tag team champions with Edge. That was when I really, really watched. I think he also might have been with RVD. I can't remember. They might have just worked together. Um, I think him and Batista also had a run together, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there was a period in time where the Tag Team Championships was just slapped on two guys who like knew how to work. It's like you know how to do a good match, you know how to do a good match. You guys are a tag team. But what? Why? It's like because
Because views. This is what people want to
yeah.
see.
Well, and like it did. It gave us some good matches. Not a whole. I mean, I don't remember Rey Mysterio tagging as a champion with anybody other than his son.
Oh,
You know
him and
what I
Edge were
mean?
definitely tag team partners. I don't know if they were actually champions though. Edge had a lot of partners in the tag team division. It seemed like he could never really get out on his own until the rated R superstar thing.
Well, that was the thing. Like
Ah,
they kind of always saw Edge as a tag team competitor because he came in as part of the Brood with Gangrel and Christian, and then Gangrel left, and then they were just Edge and Christian.
still, what a fucking intro the Brood was. Oh my god.
I mean, what a tag team just Edge and Christian were together, and it's sad that the powers that be never saw Christian for the singles performer that he is, because that man has had, like, outside of WWE, has had a Hall of Fame career as a singles competitor in TNA, in AEW, in Ring of Honor,
I don't even think
as Christian Cage.
it wasn't the WWE. It was all Vince McMahon. Because at the end of the day, that was him. Remember when
Well, I
Christian
mean,
was talking
Vince
about how
McMahon was WWE back in the day, and still was up until what, last year?
yeah, but I mean, the fact of the matter was, he hated Christian's face. He wanted him to come out in a paper bag.
Yep.
That man had zero faith in Christian as a singles competitor, I'm pretty sure. All right, how are we going to do this? I'm leaving spots, Kev, but at this point, oh, dude, you're
It's
still in the
fine.
fountain?
Yes.
Oh boy, we're going to be here for a while, folks. Strap in.
I figured it'd be probably like a 2 hour stream.
Yeah, it's gonna be a doozy.
It's
Good
fine.
thing it's the
It's,
weekend.
oh boy.
The end of, by the way. There's nothing worse than a Sunday evening. I'd have to look forward to going to work. Ugh,
Yeah. Fuck work.
exactly. How bad does it look still from where you're at?
The bottom looks mostly done.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it says 40% in the corner. I would say, yeah, probably closer to like 45
I think that
from
would
what
just
I'm
mean it's
seeing.
it. Dude, this game is satisfying too, and it I don't know. It like power washes your worries away. And I realize I say that after I said I'm dreading Sunday evenings in work, but
Well, it's washing the worries away of Monday morning.
mm-hmm. It's just a great game. If you guys haven't picked it up, you need to.
There is something very like meditative about it.
Tune says I had to do this as a living, never again. I think power washing would be fun.
Once you're dealing with it as a job and you have to deal with like all of the actual mess that you're cleaning up and the smells and everything else that goes along with it, I could see that not being fun
Oh, the
in real life.
smells. Okay,
Can
fair
you
enough.
imagine if this fountain were real and just this gunked up with garbage and dirt and algae, what this would smell like?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
And then like we have
Oh, he was
the
cleaning a pig pen. Oh
I was gonna say we have, and then we have the luxury of basically us essentially piloting drones that do this. No, you have to get in it with the heavy machinery and the water tank, which isn't infinite like it is in this
that's
game,
true. That's
which you will have to
true.
then get a certain way through, refill the water tank, and then pick up where you left off.
Yeah, fuck that. You know what? Honestly, if power washing was just me controlling a drone that was this game from a truck, I'd do it. When are they going to actually make it like real life, you know? Dude, can you imagine power washing VR?
It's exclusive to the Oculus Quest, and they just ended support for it because it was costing more money to port the things over to VR than they were actually making doing the VR stuff.
Sad.
Well, I mean, I also think the fact that they were locked in exclusively to the well, what is it? The Meta Quest now, not the Oculus Quest. Um, I think hurt them a little bit that they couldn't do the VR on PlayStation VR and on like they couldn't just have it on like PC for people who have their own VR systems, set up for that, and that probably hurt them as well. But like, so like it's art VR is already a niche, and then you're handicapping yourself even further by being exclusive to the Quest
That's a good point.
lineup. So now you're a niche within a niche.
Another good point Toon makes is we've got farming games, lawn mowing games. Where's the snow shoveling game?
It's
That
coming.
I would never buy it. I'd never buy it as someone who has to do it so often here. No. This is nice because it's something a little bit different for me. I don't want to have to shovel snow and then come inside and shovel more snow. Absolutely not.
Sim- Simpsons themed snow shovel simulator called Mr. Plow.
All right, listen, if that was a thing, maybe.
Can we bring back good licensed Simpsons games?
Hey, they had hit and run.
I know. There was Hit and Run, and then
The
what
arcade
was the
game.
other one?
The arcade
There
game
was
is notorious.
well,
It
there was
was
the
right up there with
arcade
Turtles in
game,
Time.
and then they had another one that was basically a ripoff of Crazy Taxi that I can't remember the name of right now.
Was that not hit and run? Oh
No,
no, you're right. I know
Hit
which
and
one
Run
you're
was the
talking
Grand
about.
Theft Auto ripoff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know the one you're talking about. I don't remember the name of it, but I do know exactly which one you were talking about. Back when I used to get like Game Informers and stuff, I remember seeing that in like the magazine. Never owned it myself though. Oh, apparently EA no longer has a Simpson license. Who's got it
Well, and
now?
also like what it would be to like make those games would they would be super expensive if you wanted the voice acted lines like you would have on like those PS2 era games because these voice actors are getting old, so you're gonna have to make it really worth their time for them to step away from whatever they're doing to put in the extra work and effort. And like I also don't blame them.
I wonder if voice actors are still getting shafted on their pay. I remember it
Yes,
was
absolutely they are, but it's it's different for the Simpsons voice actors because they are the Simpsons voice actors.
yeah, I guess once you've been going for so long. Oh, Simpsons Road Rage. That was the
Yes,
game.
that was
Yes.
it.
Thank you, Toon. But yeah, no, after you've done like God, I don't they're in the 30s for seasons now, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the final season is like this year, or maybe it was like last year.
Ah,
They're coming
damn,
up on the
just
last one.
growing up I had the frickin' Simpsons Christmas book. Like they've been around since I was a kid. So when you've got that kind of tenure, yeah, you better be getting paid for your work.
Hmm.
Like you've got the portfolio.
Well, and like they were big when like sitcoms and TV shows were like the pinnacle, right? Like so they've got like these locked in guaranteed contracts and like yeah, they can renegotiate them, but like that cast that they have, that they are the Simpsons. There's like it's just not really uh a replacement for them, and like there was already some backlash over you know getting rid of the character Apu, and like I don't blame them for that. I understand where they're coming from, and I think it was done with good intentions, but it still upset people. It upset longtime fans.
I mean, it's still not the be all end all if they do have to replace a voice actor. I was actually listening to one of Toon's, well, actually a couple of Toon's videos while on my high-low last week. He does like breakdowns of like TV shows from when we were growing up, and he was doing one on Fox cartoons, especially the lineups or lack thereof on some of the channels. And didn't realize how many Fox cartoons I actually watched growing up, but he was talking about Tiny Toons and how they were doing they were basically casting during the seasons that they were recording voice lines for, and I forget the name of the voice actor, but he was Buster Bunny, and he ended up just walking from the show because he wasn't given the line. Charlie Adler. There you go. He wasn't given the the role when they were like casting during rehearsals and filming and stuff. So he's like, "Yeah, you know what? Screw it. You're not going to give me the role. I'm just not going to finish as Buster Bunny." He just walks off the set. They had to replace him. I found that entertaining.
Yeah, you don't know that as a kid, and that makes it sad. But yeah, wasn't that was one of the that was back when what Steven Spielberg was making cartoons like
Yes,
that, like
exactly.
Tiny Toon Adventures, the Animaniacs, Freakazoid.
Yeah, apparently the Animaniacs got pulled just because they wanted to give the middle finger for moving some of their time slots around. Like, fine, you wanna ruin this? We're just gonna take Animaniacs away from you. I think it was WB who ended up getting the shaft on that one. Tune, if you guys are unaware, you know what? I'm gonna make it a point to link the video in this description. And Eric, if you're listening to this in the future and you still haven't done that,
Should
fucking get
probably
on
get
it.
to it.
Get on it. Okay, listen, but it should be in the description here for Tunes Fox videos. Very entertaining stuff, by the way. I didn't even realize Howie Mandel did Bobby's World. I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
even
like that
realize
was
that.
like yeah, I did. I've known that forever.
Yeah, very, very entertaining content
I
too.
forgot about Bobby's World.
Yeah.
I loved that show. Bobby's World and Garfield and Friends.
Man, back when shows could just be wacky for the sake of being wacky.
Well, I also think that's why a lot of us in our generation like are so big on like absurdist humor because like it's just weird for the sake of weird.
Yeah, it's a different time nowadays. We're the weirdos. I mean, we were the last generation to know what it was like to go out trick or treating till 2 in the morning without lights on. We were the ones who didn't have cell phones growing up, so we were like the last outside generation. There's a lot of stuff that is just phasing away. It's sad. I will tell you what, I do miss those days, just playing on jungle gyms and stuff, not caring about tetanus. Oh yeah, that's another crazy
Tetanus,
one.
I love Mario Tetanus.
Dude, Mario Tennis was the fucking shit, bro. It was one of my
All the Mario
favorite
sports
Game Boy
games,
Colors.
all the Mario sports games are good. I don't fight me. All of them are good.
I never played anything other than tennis, and I loved it. I adored it. And they recently released it on the Switch that you could play. They
hmm
they put it in the emulator, and oh my god, am I having fun with that?
So wait, you only played the Game Boy Color version of Mario Tennis?
Yeah, I mean, I know they had one on the oh my god,
Basically every
the
3D
system
game console,
the system
every
was so
3D game
bad.
console.
No, I didn't know it was on anything other than the Game Boy Color. I loved
There
that
was a
thing.
version. There was a version for N64. There was a version for GameCube. There was a version for Wii. There's a version for the Switch. Like
There's
It's been a
another
major
version that
thing.
you're excluding,
And
Kev.
then the Virtua Boy,
There you go. The Virtual Boy.
the console that had a total of 30 games in its library.
Wow, that's impressive. I didn't realize it had that many.
I think I'm rounding up. I think it's closer to like 27 or
23.
28.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
even
like
crazier. Did you know they got so I'm gonna keep referencing Tunes Vid because it's still a little bit in my mind here.
no, I want to talk
Uh
about Mario sports games.
all right, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm being in shit.
Did you know Power Rangers almost didn't get greenlit to be put on because they didn't think it would do well? We almost didn't get Power Rangers because they were fighting, and one woman who I'm horrible with names, fought tooth and nail to get it on TV, and damn, what would have been if it hadn't been?
Right.
Yeah, they moved around Batman.
The
Um,
animated series.
Let me look because Tune was right in a bit here. Batman was moved from Wednesdays for Power Rangers to Saturday mornings. Warner Brothers got pissed and pulled Animaniacs to Kids WB.
Because of Power
Crazy.
Rangers.
Yeah. Oh, she also fought tooth and nail for the X-Men show too. The networks thought that I keep saying she because I forget her name, but she was in
You're good.
charge of like the broadcasting at the time and pushing shows. And oh man, I was saying something and I just forgot to backpedal on my stupidity. Yeah, they thought that the X-Men cartoon was a bit too mature for the audiences they were having,
Hmm.
so that almost didn't make it onto TV either.
Oh, so it's basically kind of the same thing with like Young Justice, just like
There you
20
go.
years later. Although that here's the thing with Young Justice, like Young Justice was such a good show and it did target an older audience, but it got canceled because well, it did well with an older audience and they were just like, "Well, that's great, but the show isn't selling toys."
You know what's
It's like,
crazy? Like in the 80s, 70s, 80s, no one thought about merchandising really, but it was huge in the 90s. Let me tell you.
well, I'm talking about something that happened in like 2014.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, you know what? My bad. Go ahead, Slay Queen.
No, you're good. Mario sports games.
Yes, Mario sports games. Yes.
They're all good. I don't care. It's there's a reason they release a new version of Mario Tennis for basically every console. There's a reason they release a new version of Mario Golf for every console. What needs to come back, and
Uh
it's a series that, as far as I'm aware, has basically died on the fucking GameCube. Super Mario Sluggers. If you thought baseball was boring, you're fucking wrong.
Holy shit!
When you
I've
start
never
adding
heard
Mario
of it.
power-ups and start using fireballs to take out the fucking outfielders.
That seems cheap, cheaty.
It's fun. Like it's
That's really what you want to
probably
be.
like the best baseball game ever made.
I tell
Because
you,
it
I
does more
really
than just
liked.
stickball.
What's crazy is I was really into NHL as a kid growing up. Don't give a shit about it nowadays. But we also had the Wings growing up, so.
Yeah, we had like the golden era of the Detroit Red Wings growing up.
But
Like
yeah,
they were
NHL rock the
unstoppable.
rink.
Something like 3 or 4 Stanley Cups in the matter of like 6 years,
Yeah, it was nuts. So much
and one
so,
of them
I
back to back. And then
I
like even when
still
they
have.
weren't winning afterwards, they were still making it to the NHL finals.
Oh yeah, I mean we're kind of getting that age with the Lions right now a little bit. They still have a ways to go to get into a playoff and the Super Bowl, but
I mean, they made it to the playoff. They just did the same thing they did last year and lost the very first playoff game.
Well, there you go. Yeah. The team's definitely gotten better and I've actually started to watch it more. I guess I only care if we're winning, you know?
Well, and then like we like when we lost that one game that put us at a what 15-2 for the season. Like that was like one of the only two games we lost this season. It just happened to be the important one.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm gonna fall.
But at this point, as long as this Kansas City doesn't win again, that's all I care about. Because I'm sick and tired of fucking hearing about Kansas City.
Oh no, Kev.
What?
This place is still so filthy.
We're past the halfway point. Calm down. It's only been an hour.
That's fair. You know, I'm just gonna keep working on the bottom. Well, I'll work my way up. How about that?
Yeah. One game I'm glad that got resurrected on the Switch, even though I don't play anything on the fucking Switch because it's just my life is not conducive to unhooking my PlayStation and setting up the Switch for any reason at this point in time.
Hmm.
And a lot of it just has to deal with my living space, which I'm not going to get into right now live on the internet.
Hmm.
Um, but also Super Mario Strikers, Mario Soccer.
Never played either of them, buddy.
Started on the GameCube and then got a release on the Wii, which did not sell well initially, but now those games are like super fucking expensive to buy for the original consoles, and then thankfully got a
Emulator release.
no, so it actually got like a whole brand new ass like Super Mario Strikers game for the Switch.
Oh, not even like a remaster, just a whole new, like
As
new
far as I'm aware, yeah,
characters, new
it might be.
levels.
I mean, it might be a remaster of the Wii version. I never played the Wii version. I have complaints about the Nintendo Wii. So many fucking complaints, and they're all very personal and have to do with accessibility.
Hmm. Hmm. You know what? Fair enough. Also, I have to change my setting here. This is driving me nuts. I found out about this earlier, guys, by the way. So you can change how long the highlight sections show. You can also change the color. So I'm gonna, instead of having red on red, I'm just gonna make it blue. Oh wow, that is neon. But
I
yes,
mean, even the red is a really strong pink.
there is a pink option. I haven't tried it. But as far as like NHL goes, I had like NHL '97. I played that game religiously on PlayStation as a kid. But I think my favorite had to have been NHL Rock the Rink. Just the absurdity. It was like 3v3. You have crazy power ups and slap shots, and oh, it was just a
Sort of like
fun
the, the
time.
the NBA jam
There you go. Yeah,
of hockey.
exactly. Man, I spent many an hour playing that game.
Yeah, I like the. I played was 99 was the one that I had for the N64s. I did not have an original PlayStation.
Mm. Biggest regret about not having a PS2 is I was a huge fan of the Twisted Metal series. I think I owned every single one of them except for Small Brawl. But Twisted Metal Black came out, and I remember wanting it more than anything, and I just never ended up getting it.
Wow, you. I'm sure you've told me this before, but I'm just like, like it's finally hitting me. Like, yeah, you just didn't have access to one of the greatest game libraries of all time by not having a PS2.
Didn't have a PS2 or PS3, buddy. I was deep into Xbox's pockets at that point in my life. For better or for worse, I still love the 360, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I definitely missed out. The whole reason I even got a PS4 was just for the anime lineup they had released. Like I was
Yeah, I
still
remember
able,
you were very much like Xbox One guy.
no, not even Xbox One, 360 all the way. Xbox One I owned, and I only played the opening week. Like I've only played it once. I own it. It's essentially a glorified DVD player.
I mean, hang
Ain't
on to
that
it for a couple
crazy?
of years; it'll be worth some money.
No, it won't. I put fucking stickers on it.
Oh, well, that's a you thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a sticker guy.
Well, it was like those skin things. I was really into Naruto back then, so I just put a Naruto Sasuke skin on it.
No, I get it because those were huge for a long time. There's a company that's kind of doing it now, but they're not. They're almost treated like a case rather than like a sticker.
Hmm.
I saw them on Amazon the other day, and they like magnetically, like the panels in themselves, like magnetically snap together around the system. They make them for the Xbox Series X and Series S, and they like look pretty cool.
Well, that's nice. They don't really damage the system then, so that's really cool.
Yeah, like it'll actually like actively protect the outside of the system from like scratches and dings and dust and stuff like that.
That's
Obviously,
fantastic.
the fans and ports are still exposed, but
Yeah, you don't want it to overheat.
yeah, they look pretty cool. They actually have they have a couple the that make it look like it's an old like all beige like Windows 95 machine. And I'm like, I kind of wish I had an Xbox Series X to just so I could put this fucking magnet skin on it.
Bro, I will be honest. A lot of times the trim on systems really makes it for me. Like that old style wood paneling that you would get on like the Retron 5 and or what or bullshit. Like I don't know what it is. Wood paneling was very much a thing of like 70s, 80s, but it looked so damn slick and good.
They put wood paneling on cars back in the day. That's
Oh
the
yeah,
crazy
dude,
thing.
Oldsmobile? Hell yeah. I remember driving in one of them.
I had a hand me down fucking was it Mercury Grand Marquis station wagon? It was like banana yellow
Oh,
and then wood
delicious.
paneling on the side.
Delicious.
It was the banana boat. That car got wrecked.
As they all do. As long as you weren't in it at the time.
Oh yeah, no, it my brakes went out and I went through a red light and T-boned an old lady in a pickup truck.
Ah, did she survive?
Yeah, she just had a broken leg.
He fucked up.
That was the first time and only time I've ever been sued.
Oh no. Okay, well, let's not bring that memory up. Sorry, buddy.
I'm okay with it now. I still drive through the intersection that it happened all the time.
I thought you could say I'm still paying it off.
I mean, kind of fucking technically, but it's really neither here nor there.
Ah,
I'm just glad the insurance paid for it. They settled out of court for $20,000, which was basically the top payout for my policy.
oof.
My
Insurance matters.
yeah.
Oh, come on. Come clean.
I mean, I
Get
don't know what else
clean.
they would have. I don't know what else they really could have gotten out of me. I was a fucking broke kid working at Target. I think this was before I transferred to the Target that I was working at with you, but it was around that same time frame.
Dang.
Yeah, because this would have been when I was working. Yeah, because I did not take that route to work at the Target that we met at. But yeah, that happened like less than 5 miles away from my house.
Accidents do tend to happen like right when you're closest to home.
Yeah, it's fine.
Wow,
And
it's
then just
actually called a
getting
battle
another
now.
car after that was just another whole ass nightmare. I've had so many problems with fucking cars, man.
Yeah, they definitely don't make them like they used to. I'm sure you missed the banana boat.
Uh, I was ready to get rid of the banana boat, but it was like I said, it was a free hand-me-down car after my other one had like basically taken a complete and utter shit on itself. And then I had the car after that. I got just a cheap clunker, like $1,000, which you can't get a car for $1,000 now.
Nope.
But this was over 10 years ago, um, where you could get, it would have high mileage and it'd have some rust, but like it was drivable. And that one uh, took a shit on itself. Its engine completely seized.
Oh no, can't fix that. Actually,
Yeah.
I've seen one car that seized up actually get fixed, and the wrench they had to use, whoo, it was like
What
twice
it?
the length of the car.
Well,
They had to break
a
the engine.
I I was gonna say the car was only worth $1,000, and like it they probably if I really wanted to paid like the 6 or 7 thousand to have that car fixed, but I opted to.
Put her down.
Yeah, I think I
It
got
was the
I
humane
have
thing
my
to do.
buddy loaned me like $3,000 to get another car.
That was very kind. Oh my god, we're hitting it left and right, Kev. We're cleaning this bitch. So
And
many
then that
things.
car that I bought for 3,000, or I should say my buddy bought me for 3,000. That one lasted a while. That was that was the car I was driving. Um, well, actually, the one that took a shit where the engine completely seized, I was actually still driving to the Target because I remember some guy in a fucking black Ram 1500, because it's always a guy driving a fucking Ram truck, almost ran me off the fucking road.
Well, they're called Ram for a reason, Kev.
Because they're driven exclusively by assholes.
Yeah.
Ram, random asshole motor vehicle. Um, and I say that knowing full well that one of my best friends in the world drives a Ram truck. He's like, hey, and I'm like, yeah, you're an asshole.
How am I supposed to get this? This is too tall. Ugh. I don't think there's
I'm
any way to actually clean this. But I know I've done it before because I've done this level.
You need to use the extension.
I am. I'm using
Oh,
a
okay.
giant extension.
Can we stack the scaffolding on top of each other?
I might need to bring the little ladder up
One,
here.
2, 3, 4. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that's the taller of the two. I'm cleaning a fish.
I'm. Yeah.
But yeah, then I got the one that I got for 3,000. I drove for quite a few years. I drove that until 2020.
Hey, at least you got
Until
your money out of it.
yeah, I drove that, put so many repairs on it until it just straight up fucking. It got to a point where I was having constant issues, and like it got to a point where used cars were like skyrocketing in price. So like I was just like, well, I'll pay the couple $100 to get this fixed. I'll pay the couple $100 to get this fixed.
Yep, I know that song and dance. I still am driving my car. It's got 69,000 miles on it, and I bought it in 2009. I don't drive that thing. This thing's going to last me for a while. But it was
Yeah.
also my first actual expense that I had to pay out of college. Well, actually, out of high school. Yeah, I had to buy a car while I was still in high school. Um, it was the very tail end, but I was working at the time, and this is how stupid I was because my parents offered to actually buy me a car, but it wasn't the car that I wanted because fucking image is everything, right?
Right.
As a stupid kid,
It
I'm
was
like, I
then.
want
Now
something
it's.
that, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like if I'm gonna drive something, I want it to be something I'm proud to drive. Oh, how fucking stupid I was. So 5 years and $23,000 later, I'm finally saving up for a house. Like I could have just had a Ford Focus for free, but no, I wanted the Fusion because it looked cooler. Which, by the way, kids, if
Ironically
you're
enough, that
listening,
$3,000 car was a Focus, and that thing ran until it had 250,000 miles on it.
I messed up. What can I say, kids, if you're listening to this and you're offered a car, let me just tell you, you can't see the car you're driving while you're driving it. So who cares? Yeah, I turned it down because I wanted a more sporty looking car. And here's the fun fucking kicker, right? It's got a 4-cylinder engine in it so that the insurance wasn't crazy. So it's not even a fast regular six cylinder engine that is normally in the Fusion.
Yeah. So then I got after the Fusion,
Fuck.
I got the Kia Soul, which I loved that car up until it got stolen. Because
Ah,
when I
yes.
bought it, did not know. In fact, the majority of people did not know how easy it was to fucking steal those cars. I'm not going to get into it. I don't suggest you look it up. And if you do look it up, you're a bad person. And I hate you. Unless you own a Kia and you're looking it up to protect yourself, because you should definitely then look it up. But yeah, there became a viral trend.
Also,
Bunch of teenagers from Chicago. Sorry, go ahead.
well, real quick, I'm just making sure. Is Kev also static for you guys? Because he's been static for me for like 20 minutes.
How
Are
bad
you,
is it?
it's not terribly that you're like it's noticeable. Like you're
I mean, I can't
no? Okay, it
do
might
anything
just be
without.
me. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, I can't do anything about that without leaving the game, and
Yeah,
that kind of fucks up the whole stream.
it's like your words are like popping at the end. Like you've got pop rocks in your mouth. But
Oh, you always do that when we're on chat together for me.
oh,
I just I
okay.
just I just assumed it was a bad mic.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say it's never been this prominent for me to hear from you. So
Yeah, I mean this headset is on its last leg. I've had it since basically the PS4 came out, and I'm looking into getting a new one, but I can't justify the expenditure. And I'm not just
fair,
gonna buy a cheapo fucking replacement
fair
because
enough.
I hate them.
But anyway, you were talking about the kid who posted that video on how to break into your specific car.
Yeah, my specific make of vehicle, and like along with hundreds of others, there's a fucking class action lawsuit that I'm waiting on a settlement on because hopefully I can make 10 grand off of it. But really neither here nor there at this point as far as that is concerned. But um, I got into... So what had happened is I got into some trouble with some debt stuff because I was not thinking clearly. I was in a really bad space as far as like mental health goes, and I was just kind of chasing the dopamine dragon, as it
Mm-hmm.
were, and making a lot of really poor choices. So because the cost of um, used vehicles had been skyrocketing, I all of a sudden had a ton of equity in my vehicle. So I had taken out a new loan. I have this scaffolding facing the wrong direction. Fuck. For my car, so I refinanced it um, for a higher price to help um, pay off some of that debt, and then I also got a debt consolidation loan on top of that.
Mm-hmm. Bro, are you still not
For
done with this fountain?
I'm trying to get the top bit. Are you not done with the building?
All right, look at this. Look at this. You fucking look at this side.
Yeah, I had to clean
My
the inside and the outside of this and the fish. You've been
my
doing straight fucking walls. Let's not get into it.
don't even talk to me about straight fucking walls. You should see
Don't
these
you?
corners.
Listen, let's not get all into who killed who.
I'm sorry, go ahead. You were saying.
Yeah. Um. Fucking. Where was I? Yeah. So I did all that, and then I took out the small personal loan to pay off like the rest of that debt, and then 4 days later, my car was stolen.
Yeah. Fuck that, dude.
Um. So I had no car. The insurance company basically only pays for a rental car for 2 weeks. So this was at like the beginning of August that all of this happens. August of what would have been 2021.
Still in the bad times. Backstreet Boys reunion tour still in full swing.
Yep. Um, so they're like, okay, well, we got to give the police 2 weeks to find the car, and if it's not found in 14 days, we're just going to deem the car a total loss. Okay, cool. I get a call on day 12 that they have found the vehicle. I'm like, oh shit. That's not what I wanted to hear. I'm like, yep, come pay to get out of impound. I'm like, cool,
You
I'm
have
glad
to
that I
pay
have.
for that shit?
Yes, you do.
What the fuck? Your car was stolen, and on top of that, you have to pay to get it back?
Yep.
Dude, there would be a bomb somewhere. There would be a bomb somewhere. I would use that money for a bomb. Oh my god.
let's not get into um,
Trump
radical
tactics?
leftism
Got
just
it.
yet. No, 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 no. We're planning bombs, but not for Trump, but for Trump. Neither here nor there. You're gonna have to take this whole podcast down.
Yep.
There's no VOD.
Yep.
Um, fuck.
So I can't believe your car got stolen, and in order to get it back, you had to pay on top of that.
I had to pay to get it out of impound. I had to pay to get it towed out of impound to my house because it was deemed unsafe to drive.
Dude, whoever did they catch who stole it?
I have no idea.
You still
It,
don't know?
I have no idea.
Did you ever get reimbursed for any of that?
The car got paid off because of the uh because eventually let me get through the end of
I'm
the
sorry.
story.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Um
jumping.
so like I said, it took them almost the full 14 days to find the car. Um so we get it, I have it towed. Now I have to wait for an appraiser to come out to look at the vehicle to assess how much damage has been done to the vehicle to see if it's worth being repaired. And I'm like, okay, but it has to be one of the insurance companies, like approved appraisers. Okay, so now I gotta wait more time for this guy to be able to come and take a look at this mangled piece of shit that's sitting in my driveway
And meanwhile, you've got a 2 week
on
limit.
three wheels. Yup,
It's got 3 wheels
yep.
and it's
Mind you,
mangled.
the car has not been deemed a total loss yet, so I am still making payments on it.
Oh my
On a car
god.
that I cannot drive, and I am now paying for a rental vehicle out of my own money. But I don't have that money, so that's now going on the credit cards that I just paid off by refinancing my car and getting a personal loan.
Dude.
So finally, they send out an appraiser. He gets a look at it. He's like, okay, yep, it looks like it's about
Oh,
$8,000 worth of damage. Um, so that's not enough total, you know, damage for it to be considered a total loss. So we're
beg your
gonna
pardon?
need yeah,
I could buy
because
two cars
the
for
car was
that.
yeah, well, the car was technically worth um, what 17, so it was less than half of the total value, so it's not considered a total loss, and they'd rather just pay the 8,000 than the 17,000.
Bro, that is fucked.
So he's like, okay, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? He goes, find a shop, and hopefully one that's not filled to the brim with work, and see if they can see it. It's going to be like probably a month wait before a lot of shops will be able to get a chance to look at it. Cool. Fucking thanks.
Yeah, isn't it great when it's just not their problem anymore and it's just all yours to deal with? It's
Uh,
like, who do you turn to? Like, who helps you? Meanwhile, we're still dealing with, minimum wage at $7.25. Just like, how do they
I
expect
mean,
anyone to cover this shit?
I'm making like $12 an hour at this point.
Yeah, it's fucking
So I'm
stupid.
waiting. So now I'm waiting to hear back after paying to have my vehicle towed to this mechanic shop and waiting for them to tell me when they're gonna get a chance to fucking look at it. I'm like, cool. So a couple more weeks go by, and I am still paying for a fucking rental car out of my own pocket on credit cards that I had just paid off by refinancing the car that I'm waiting for them to do work on.
I understand why you drink. I understand.
So they're like, okay, we're gonna get a chance to look at it next week. I'm like, okay, cool. So we're waiting. He goes, yeah, the appraiser wrote up like $8,000 worth of damages. My guys are looking at it, and we've kind of gone over everything. We want you to come down here and so you can like see what we're talking about and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, man. Just like, I just want this whole fucking thing to be over. He's like, based on what I'm seeing here, and he's pointing to all the different stuff that they've marked out on the cards, like we're gonna have to fix this, we're gonna have to fix this, we're gonna have to fix this.
It's basically totaled, and the guy didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah, so the appraiser's like, there's like, yeah, the appraiser wrote up like some of this stuff, but not like all of it. So he said there's like $8,000 worth of damages. Like me and my guys look at, there's like $13,000 worth of damages here that are probably going to need to be repaired. So chances are the um, like this is going to be totaled out by the insurance company. Cool. Can you send that over? Yep, we'll send it over. And now I'm waiting to hear back from the insurance company deeming it a total loss so I can use the gap coverage that I have with my credit union that'll just, like, if there's anything left after the insurance payout, we'll pay off that car. Cool. Fine. Whatever. We go through this whole process,
Mm-hmm.
which started at the beginning of August. I want to be very clear. It started at the beginning of August of that year. Now I have, like, finally the insurance company gets back to me and it's like another week or two for them to do their thing, and they're like, "Yep, we're sending a check to the credit union that's going to completely pay off the car." Cool. So I got to do that, and I'm like, "Okay, when like it's paid off, I start shopping for a new car, like what can I get approved for?" It's like, "Well, you got this car like a year ago, market's a little bit different, it's probably going to be a higher interest rate and blah 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 blah, yada yada yada." I'm like, "All right," and I got to wait for that loan, now that it's paid off, to fall off my credit report so I can get approved for another car loan.
This is gonna be another month, probably, of waiting.
Basically, yeah.
Oh no,
So
Kevin.
finally
I'm
there's
sorry. I
there's that,
never knew your struggles. I never knew.
and I go, because all I don't talk about my struggles. I show up with a bottle of whiskey and be like, "Hey, you want to play some fucking video games?"
Anytime,
And
my
you wonder
friend.
why I blacked out playing Mass Effect.
Anytime. Yeah, America's
All
fucked
my
here.
all
It's
my
always like
savings,
this.
all my savings are fucking drained, and I'm still paying for a rental car on these credit cards because I don't have any fucking money. Which, mind you,
Oh boy.
all of this, the way this started was all my fault to begin with. I understand that a lot of this would not happen had I not gotten myself into the situation beforehand with all of this other stuff. But it does definitely feel like somebody was trying to punish me for doing the right thing,
It
for
always
finally trying to get my shit together.
it always feels that way, Kev. The
So I
important
go and I'm
thing.
like, finally, like, "Okay, you can get approved for a car for X amount of dollars. Cool, great. Now I can go start looking for cars." And I'm looking at a couple cars. I got a buddy, shout out to my buddy Kyle, who once again is not listening or watching, because I don't even know if he knows that I do this with you. Who was hooking me up with a car. He worked at a dealership, like as a salesperson, was like really working with me. We found this used Fusion hybrid. It was, only had like 40,000 miles on it. It was in really good condition. Um, and fucking, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought a little bit. We go through and like, okay, cool. This is gonna, I think this is gonna be the car. It's like, all right, well, it's a recent trade-in, so we got to kind of wait for the techs to finish doing a full inspection of the engine, and make sure that everything's good to sell. But once it's available, it'll be available, for within your price range. Cool, fine, respect. Like, I definitely want your guys to look at it and make sure it's not a full-on fucking lemon that someone, it's not a turd that somebody polished up for a trade-in,
Hmm.
right?
Show me the Carfax.
So we get all that. Car's finally ready. He goes, "Hey, car's ready." I'm like, "Cool, send over a purchase order." I contact my guy at the credit union. and I'm like, hey, I got this car. I'm going to be sending you the purchase order here shortly. I'm just waiting for the guy to send me the information. Cool, you get it to me. I'll send it to the underwriters. All right, cool. I like where this is going. Things are moving in a positive direction.
Why do I feel like this isn't a Cinderella story we're getting?
An hour later, I get a call from my buddy Kyle. He goes, "I'm so sorry, man. I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. He's another guy already sold it. The paperwork's already signed and everything for this other buyer." I'm like, "God damn it! I need a car. My rental agreement is gonna be up in 4 days. I'm not paying for any more rental cars. This is days before Thanksgiving. This is the end of November.
No,
this whole process started
in August. Dude.
I have been paying. I maxed out 2 or 3 credit cards paying for a fucking rental car for 3 goddamn months. But eventually, he talks it over. He talks it over with his boss. They find another Fusion. It's not a hybrid. It is just a straight combustion engine. They knock a couple $1,000s off the price of it to match what
was on your paperwork?
Yeah, I think it ends up being like $1,000 more than like what the original quote was, but still within my budget from my credit union on what they would give me for a car. I'm like, okay.
Come on.
And like I think overall it worked out pretty well with this new car, because that's the one I'm driving now. And when I got it, when they sold it to me and they had marked all the price off it, it only had 10,000 miles. It was practically a brand new fucking car.
Well,
it was
nice.
At least turn in from some old dude who never like went anywhere, like maybe to church and back.
Oh, it sounds like a car I would drive.
Yeah, but it was just, there's a whole rigmarole there to just finally have all of that settled, only to A, have a higher car payment, B, a personal loan payment, and C, now paying the bills on those credit cards that I had just paid off. So now I'm in a worse financial position because the cards are maxed out again. I have this loan. I have this one new loan payment, this higher car payment, and like everyone's like, "Oh, yeah." Everyone's just like, "Haha, Kevin, you'll be able to retire. Don't worry about it." I'm like, "No, I'm never gonna be able to fucking retire. I'm never gonna own a home until my parents die and they leave me their home."
I mean, that's our generation, pretty much.
Yeah. And I'm like, it is what it is. And everyone's like, "Stop being such a downer." And I'm like, I could go into the whole fucking story again for you motherfuckers, but like, shit just doesn't work out for me, and I've learned to be okay with that and just take whatever wins I can get in the meantime. And if that win means that I have an extra $40 in my pocket and I can take that and get myself a couple of beers and a fried chicken sandwich at a bar where there's a cute waitress, then I'm just going to fucking take it, because shit just doesn't work out for me like other people.
On the bright side, I consider a win when I find an onion ring in my fries. But yes, getting back to your question, Vera, this is a podcast. This is a podcast for. So Vera, about 20 minutes ago, is this a podcast for fun or depression?
This is a podcast about post-capitalist America.
Holy shit, Kev. You've trapped me. Holy shit. Are you on my scaffolding? You set one up right next to mine. What are you
I know,
doing?
to fuck with you.
Vera says he could, the silence in your voice, he could feel the death stare.
What are we talking about?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Holy shit. Kev, all of a sudden, the sadness on your face every time I talk to you, I realize isn't about me. It isn't
No,
because you're talking to me that day.
no, it has nothing to do with you. You're my friend, and I love you, and you make my life better,
Oh,
even though
that's
sometimes you're
fantastic to hear.
infuriating.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's usually on purpose, but I mean, at least you know.
I mean,
Uh,
if we didn't piss each other off at least a little bit, we wouldn't be
yeah.
friends.
Damn, man. I'm sorry all that happened to you.
Oh, that's just 2021. I have other
No,
stories I could
no,
bring up. We could
I
get
don't.
real into the weeds on what's wrong with me, but
We're good, man. We're good. Veer's like, this isn't your show, it's his.
and yet here I am.
No, he's saying it's your show, not mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is the Kevin show.
I'm
Bro,
changing my highlight color.
yeah, blue is really good. It's also like, holy shit, I realized my mistake now.
Where's the window still dirty?
Oh,
Where's the window still dirty?
he was making a reference to Warpgate, the monologue. Oh, you caught up to that, did you?
Oh yeah, that was 2 months ago.
I'm aware. I wasn't.
I have been thinking about it. And I'm just like, it's been so long. Do we even try again?
Well, here's the thing. I know it was giving you a lot of frustration because a lot of the stuff we were trying to write and stories we were trying to tell kept getting fucked up by just the game not working with us. Like there were so many like turns and twists that never happened just because a specific
The
outcome
game was
didn't
like,
happen
no.
in a match or
Well, and
yeah.
some of that was like accounted for, but like,
Yeah. No, but like when we're trying to like I'm not saying we were going to break up Team Bat Fat, but when some people don't come out to encounter other people when we've scheduled them to,
when
things happen.
yeah, when motherfuckers don't show up for work.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure Snorlax was in a coma. Actually, I think Batman was supposed to attack Snorlax, and he walked out on him. But
No,
yeah,
that was right, but like we had set up another match with Snorlax, and I think it was in that last one. I think Snorlax ended up winning that match, but like we had gone into the rivalry settings and like programmed that Batman was gonna come out and attack Snorlax,
never
and
happened. He just never
yeah,
showed
like
up.
like I don't know what the game was waiting for to trigger it. It just never happened, and I'm sitting there and just like, okay, these aren't real people. There's no injury that happened here. It's not like you
Batman was
cannot.
busy
It's
in
not like the
catering.
game didn't show up for work. It just decided that no, it's not happening.
Yeah, so there was a lot of frustration on that end. I still loved what we did, and I think we got like maybe 8 or 9 episodes, but I think they went very well.
I mean, when the game worked as intended, it was beautiful. The
Hmm.
problem was when the game did not work as intended. That absolutely drove me mad, and it's like, okay, I have an idea on how to work around this.
Man, we are killing this. We're gonna make it. It's an hour 45 in.
Told you, it's only going to be like a 2-hour stream. You were so worried that we were going to be here all night.
I'm gonna be honest. It's a lot. Like you can see how this would have been a 4-hour job on my own. Oh fuck. Hello there. I fell.
Proud of you. Yeah, so if I get a little drunk sometimes, if I get a little mouthy sometimes, if I get a little sad sometimes, call me on
Yeah.
my bullshit, but also try and give me give me a break or the benefit of the doubt. The shit's just probably not going right now.
Usually you're very upfront and honest about that anyway before we even start streaming. And it usually leads to um, me either being the straight, like, and I'm speaking from like an acting point of view. You have a straight man, you have a crazy man, or a goofy man. There are times
Hmm.
where I have to be the good guy, or I have to be the bad guy. Oh, I feel that. You just fell, didn't you?
No, I jumped off. I know when I was falling down, I saw things that weren't clean on my way down, so I'm just taking those before I go work on the next bit.
Oh, there you go. Yep, I knew it.
Okay, now to go find those door hinges.
Which battlement is not clean, Kev? I guarantee you it's my fault. Alright. It's
Okay,
the very first one. The
it's the
very
bottom right hand
first
one.
one.
Everything else
I.
is at 99%. There's
I.
one window that's not clean yet.
Oh, fantastic. Alright, gonna get this battlement right here. Alright, to be fair,
To be fair,
I cleaned the door handles. I just happened to have peanut butter on my fingers as I was closing it.
windows cleaned.
God, a lot of these are like 99. Ugh,
Tower keys.
manor
Which one?
wall. What did I
Is it
miss on the
glowing?
manor wall?
Those are clean.
I guess I'll just spray
Okay.
the whole wall and no, oh, there it is. All right.
That one's clean. That
Oh,
one's
dude, I
clean.
like the way this sounds.
That one's
Buttress.
clean.
What is
That
that?
one's clean. That one's clean. This one's clean. That one's clean. Very tippy top one. Okay. Up we go.
All right. I don't see what's not. Oh, found it.
Okay, that's clean.
I got it. It was a corbel.
String core sledges?
What other corbel isn't clean? I think it said that there were two of them. Oh, it's this one. Listen, I know I missed some of them, but you got to admit, I
String
got
core
the majority of
sledge.
it.
That ledge is clean. That ledge is not clean. Now it is. Alright, where are we at?
I found
Corbel
it.
tables?
Yep, that's. I'm on the last one right now. I just found it.
Okay.
Eh,
Large window border wall.
hit. Got it. All right, you're on the border wall. I'll work on the coitus.
Oh yeah, it's the underside of the window frame that didn't get cleaned.
All right, what the fuck is the coitus?
The coins? It does not say coitus.
Listen,
There's no
know.
T in there.
I know. I just don't know what it is. What the hell is it? Also, hello, Tony. Thank you for
Oh,
dropping
it's
by.
all that. How are we supposed to clean that fucking wall? Kidding
Wait,
me
you
with this
found
shit?
it? Oh, I see it.
Well, it's cleaned now. Raised floors.
Nope, still don't know where it is. Where the hell is the coitus? What is a coitus?
It's these corner bits. You see the with the lighter brick where it's like the long in the middle, the long and there's shorter, long, shorter, long, shorter. These are the coins.
Oh,
Do you see where
so
I am?
yeah. All right, so one of
Yeah,
these
so it's these
isn't
corner
clean,
bits.
and I don't know which one it is. One of these ain't clean. Damn it! It's got to be. It's got to be on the far end where you're at, Kev, because I don't see anything.
Probably. Yep, it's this one over here. I think there's maybe some edging that I missed. There we go.
Woo!
There we
Victory!
go. Time lapse time.
Well done. We just cleaned the Croft Manor.
The outside.
Yeah, look at how much work I did on the house before you got done with that goddamn fountain.
It got done, didn't it?
You know what? Yeah, it got done. Well, everybody, this was the first step into the Tomb Raider Powerwash DLC. Oh my god, I thought that was a butthole on a swan, but this was a fish.
It's a fish.
Huh. Yeah, I never looked at the fountain.
It's an ugly fish.
I thought it was a swan for the longest time. Huh. Oh, wait. I gave him a
You gotta
mustache.
feed. No, you need to feed the fish.
You give him a mustache.
No, put on the red one. You feed the fish.
The red one.
Are we still streaming?
Oh, we're streaming.
Is this content?
This isn't great content, but it's more somber content than we've had. Oh, till next time, everybody. Bye bye. Kev, you're a monster. Goddamn monster.